Hi everyone, Armine Bazikyan here, and in keeping with the series that we've been doing over the last 2 months, we wanted to bring you to the final version of using props and visuals to explain to you guys some of these legal concepts. So today we're going to be talking about what is a trust, and I usually explain it as a basket for my clients. I usually use the basket analogy because it's very easy to understand that, you know, things that you have in your pocket, you're taking them, you're putting them into a basket. In the trust world, with a trust, what you're essentially doing is creating a separate legal entity, a separate being, if you will. And in this case, it looks a lot like a trust, where you get to tell me how you want to design it. You get to tell me what color it is, what shape it is. This one's a rectangle, this one's a square, yours might be a circle. Every person's trust is very unique to their own family and their own family structure, the members of their family, kids, their ages, what they want done after they're gone, what type of assets they have, as well as the value of those assets. And the most important, tax liability, what net worth do they have? What we do is we meet with the client. The client will let us know what their wishes are. We will give them some hypothetical questions and have a full discussion about the different assets, and then we will create a basket for you. Once we create the basket, and it's usually empty, you will then basically fund your basket, which is putting things that you own into this basket. So in this particular scenario, I have 2 baskets, and the reason I have 2 is I wanted to illustrate kind of the difference between doing a do-it-yourself trust or doing it through a company that's just providing you with forms. There's obviously a lot of companies out there that will create a trust for you for a very low amount of money. There's also individuals out there that are maybe licensed notaries, or they have different service companies. They're not licensed attorneys by any means, and they will sell you a trust document. So actually they are engaging in a misdemeanor crime if you're ever working with someone like that. What they're doing is considered the illegal practice of law in California. Those trusts are the ones that we actually see a lot end up in court, and the reason is it looks a lot like this basket. It has a lot of holes in it, so you know they'll put transfer, see, it literally falls through, which is a great description of what the type of trust that they create for you looks like when you're actually gone and we have to create and transfer it to the kids. There's a lot of holes, meaning it could be an effect on taxes later on. They could have transferred things incorrectly, which would affect how things get distributed. Most of the time we have to go to court anyway to fix all these problems. So I want you to be aware that, you know, and I actually get this question a lot where it's like, well, why can't I just go to like legal whatever company that will create it for like $400, or I don't even know how much it is. And the reason is that they are selling you a piece of paper and not a plan, and they're definitely not doing tax planning. So with an attorney, you are getting a professional, hopefully, if you've hired the right one. You're getting someone that is familiar with the probate code, that knows the law, that will prepare everything correctly, that will do tax planning for you as well. It's not just a matter of like creating a basket and then like throwing things that you own into the basket. And we'll use this as an example. So let's say this client came to me and they were a single individual, Dr. Bones, and because she's single, her trust has to look square, for example. And you know, she has a dog, so we have to put in some provisions related to pets in there because she wants to make sure her pets are taken care of. You know, she has 2 little girls, so we want to make sure that we include provisions in here that are going to take care of minor beneficiaries' interests, as well as some guardianship nominations. So she has a cat as well. She is a doctor, which means that her trust has to have this red handle because a professional doctor in California, their trust will look a little bit different from a lawyer's or from a non-professional's. She has a car that will go into her trust. She also has, what else does she have? She has a house, so we have to make sure that the trust is equipped to handle the house. And she has a business interest in a cafe, so we have to assign her interest into the trust. And looks like she has some Tesla stock and another interest in what looks to be possibly a medical corporation, Flesh and Bones Beauty. We want to make sure that all of her interests are contained in this trust and that this trust is able to handle all of it. It's designed in a way where it will address all of the different issues and factors that come up, including any tax issues that we might have for her kids when she's gone. So as you can tell, oh, she has some cash too. So she has some bank accounts, so we want to make sure that those bank accounts are titled in the trust name as well. And that's it, which means that now she has nothing in her pockets. When Dr. Bones passes away, she's got nothing in her name, so there's no reason for us to go to the court. Instead, she has put everything in this basket, and she told me in this basket we have written in there that, you know, when she's gone, I'm supposed to take this basket and give it to, let's say, her mother, who is going to be the one that takes care of the assets. So grandma, in this case for the kids, is going to be the one that holds on to this basket, and grandma is going to reach in and do exactly what we've written. So in this case, if we've written, you know, give all the assets to each child at the age of 25, we would take everything in there, she would remove it, and she would hand it over to each child. So the person that holds on to the trust basket is called a trustee, and you have the right to name whoever you want. So in this case, grandma's going to be in charge, and this basket is going to live long after Dr. Bones is gone. And most importantly, there's no reason to go to court. So a judge is not going to hold on to this basket. It's actually going to be Dr. Bones' mother in this case, who is the trustee, and she will follow the instructions in this trust with respect to distributing to the grandchildren. And she will manage everything in here. So I hope that was a really helpful example of what it is that a trust does physically for your assets, and also a good example of kind of the differences between different trusts. So be careful. Be sure that you're hiring a licensed attorney to prepare legal documents for you. You don't want to cut corners, because saving $100 or $200 now or $1,000 now is actually going to end up costing your family a lot more in the future. So hope this was helpful. Join us again next month. Bye.